Most people who try print on demand will never make a single dollar, not because they can't design or market, but because they are missing this one skill. And most people don't even know that this skill exists. They're grinding on ad creatives, obsessing over design trends, and writing email flows. But if they master this one skill, the sales start coming in. Now, over the last 30 days, I've done over $189,000 in print on demand sales. But my most transformational moment was when I made my first dollar. And that's when I knew it was possible. Right now, you think you need to fix a million things. You don't. You need to master one skill. That's why in this video, I'm going to explain exactly what this skill is and 3 steps that you can take to start mastering it. All right, so what is the only skill that you need to make your first dollar with print on demand? It's learning how to emotionally connect with your buyer. Not just know your audience, not just understand demographics. I am talking about connecting so deeply that when someone sees your design, it mirrors who they are, who they want to be, or what tribe they belong to. And when you nail this connection, a want becomes an I need this. And that is when the sale happens. And before I explain exactly how to utilize and practice this skill, I want to show you what this actually looks like in action. Now, these are real reviews from one of my brands where I am simply selling graphic t-shirts. Clever shirt. It is fun to wear this shirt and see how many friends or people generally understand the humor in the message of this t-shirt. Sadly, very few understand it, but it gives me the opportunity to explain the design if they're interested. I enjoy wearing it. So that was the first review. Our second review, dark humor scores a 10. I love this t-shirt. I liked the color and the quality was good with the sizing spot on. Most importantly, I liked the chance to show my dark sense of humor. Great t-shirt. The comments that I've gotten with this tee are marvelous. I wish I had it years ago when working on spacecrafts. That's the vocalization you do not want to hear in quality control. And then finally, loved it. Got this for my boyfriend, who is a former professional bull rider and loves everything Western. I'd hoped he would get a chuckle out of it, but he's gotten so much more. He loves this shirt. Thank you. Now we are debating which to buy next. Now look at what they're saying. These aren't your typical nice shirt fits well reviews. These are people who took the time to say, this brand gets me. They're not buying a shirt, they're buying a mirror. They're buying belonging. They're buying their identity. And that's the power of emotional connection. Now, I know this sounds way easier said than done, so let me show you exactly what this feels like from the other side, because I was just recently that customer who felt that emotional pull. And maybe you have too after you hear my story. So this story starts with something that has nothing to do with print on demand, but stay with me. Recently, I was interested in purchasing a cold plunge. I used to do them when I lived in Pennsylvania during the winter. I had this inflatable cold plunge in my backyard. So all I had to do was blow it up, fill it with water, and it would naturally get cold because Pennsylvania is freezing from about November through March. And honestly, anytime that I got in that cold plunge, my day just started better. It felt like I had already done something really hard for the day, something most people wouldn't do. And that made the rest of my day feel so much easier. It wakes you up, it's energizing, it sets the tone for the day. But I recently moved to Texas, and Texas is hot, like all year round. Plus, I'm living in an apartment now, so I have no backyard, no access to a hose, so I couldn't just throw an inflatable tub outside on my porch and let nature do the work. I needed something that could go indoors, something preferably that would work with a bathtub. So the first thing I did was I went to Google and I started searching. And I wasn't happy with what I was seeing. Now, some cold plunges had thousands of reviews, some barely had any, so I didn't trust them. Some came with their own tub, some didn't. I had no idea if it would be even compatible with a bathtub. Now, I spent a lot of time looking into this, and after a while, I kind of let it go because nothing was checking all of my boxes. But then, because I had started searching cold plunges, I got hit with ads. And one day I got an ad from a company called Home Plunge. And this ad felt like it was speaking directly to me. It showed me exactly what I was looking for. It adapted perfectly to a bathtub. In fact, it was built for bathtubs. There was no hose needed. It was high horsepower to actually get the water cold in Texas heat. And it had won awards at CES, which is this huge technology conference. So I knew that it was legit. And the messaging, it wasn't just about the product. It was about people who do cold plunges, entrepreneurs, people who do hard things, people who are disciplined and successful. And I thought, if successful entrepreneurs are doing this, maybe this is part of what'll help me scale my business. Maybe this is the edge that I need to take my business to the next level. Now, I didn't need a cold plunge by any means, but in that moment, I needed this one. So I clicked the ad, and here's where it gets really interesting. When I landed on their website, it was not pretty. It was not optimized at all. Now, over the past 5 years, I've been building Shopify stores, and I have ultimately been optimizing my sites for a mobile experience. And I could just pick out every mistake on this landing page. The mobile experience was terrible. The add to cart button was buried way down. I had to scroll multiple times just to find it. Nothing about this page really followed best practices. But you know what? I bought it anyways with very little hesitation because none of that mattered. It was the emotional connection that was so strong that I was going to figure out how to complete that purchase no matter how many hurdles the website threw at me. And that's the point. When you emotionally connect with your customer, when your product or your design mirrors who they are, who they want to be, or what tribe they belong to, all of these little tiny details that we obsess over, the perfect product page, the optimized layout, the flawless user experience, they become secondary. Now, don't get me wrong, those things still matter, but the emotional connection matters more and can guarantee sales. Because when someone feels that pull, when they see themselves in what you are offering, they will find a way to buy it. They'll push through a clunky website. They'll pay expensive shipping. They'll overlook imperfect copy. They will justify the price. Because it's not about the product anymore. It's about the identity, the belonging, the version of themselves that they want to become. That's what we need to create with print on demand. So how do we actually practice this? How do you get better at creating that emotional connection that turns a want into a need? So here are 3 steps that you can start using today to master this skill and get you closer to making that first dollar. First, you need to become a student of your customer. And I don't mean surface level research. I mean really studying them and preferably being one of them. Stop guessing what they care about. Go where they actually hang out. Look at Reddit threads, join Facebook groups, look at TikTok comments, YouTube videos, subreddits for your niche. Read what they're saying in their own words. What are they complaining about? What are they celebrating? What language do they use? What inside jokes do they make between one another? What problems keep coming up over and over? Screenshot it, save it on your desktop, and start building a swipe file of their actual words, their phrases, and their emotions, because we can tap into this time and time again. Because when you understand how they talk, what they care about, and what frustrates them, you can speak directly to them. You can create designs that feel like they were made specifically for them. That's the mirror that we are trying to sell. Second, before you finalize any designs, before you upload it, before you run ads to it, run it through what I call the mirror test. You're going to ask yourself 3 questions. Does this design reflect who my customer is? Does this reflect who my customer wants to be? Does this reflect what tribe they belong to? If your design doesn't check at least one of these boxes, it's just another graphic tee. It's forgettable. Your customer can probably get that design at Target or Walmart. But if your design mirrors their identity, if it says, this is me, or this is who I'm becoming, or these are my people, that's when a want becomes a need. And that's the design that gets the sale. Third, and this is the one that most people will overlook, is study your own buying behavior. Think back to the last 5 things that you bought that you didn't technically need. I just told you about my cold plunge journey, but what about you? What made you buy? What emotion did you feel in that moment? Was it belonging? Was it identity? Was it status? Was it aspiration? Was it nostalgia? Start recognizing these emotional triggers in yourself because those same triggers exist in your customers. You've been that customer. You know what it feels like to see something and think, I need this. Use that. Learn from it. That self-awareness is one of your biggest advantages as a seller. When you can recognize what made you buy, you can recreate that feeling for somebody else. So there you have it. 3 steps to practice emotional connection. Become a student of your customer, run every design through the mirror test, and study your own buying behavior. Do this consistently, and you're not just making designs, you're creating mirrors. You're giving people a reason to feel like they need what you are selling. And when you do that, that is when the sales come. So if you enjoyed this video and you're looking for more print-on-demand content like this, definitely like and subscribe to my channel. It would absolutely mean the world to me. And if you're looking for a community where you can learn Shopify print-on-demand, go through a free 31-hour course, then click the link in the description below and I'll send you an invitation to my free school community where you can get all of the resources that you need to get started today. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.